Welcome to another episode of the True Beast Podcast, brought to you by XDog.com, where you can find the world's greatest health enhancement harness for dogs, the XDog Fitness Vest. Exercising your dog has never been easier or more effective than with the XDog Fitness Vest. But what makes it the world's greatest health enhancement harness? Well, not will it only get your dog in better physical shape, but it also supports mental health as well. Thousands of dog owners have utilized the XDog vest to address anxiety or behavior issues and even depression. So if you're looking to enhance your dog's health or give it an overall better quality of life, be sure to check out XDog.com. And we are on episode 60. And if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome and thank you. And if you've never listened to this podcast before, we're an entrepreneur slash business slash pet, specifically dog human optimization podcast.
Yeah. Man, so today, I had a different idea, but I like that we were just talking roughly about competition and friends. Yeah. And we weren't talking about friends, but I think, oh, man, do you really have any friends if you're not competing with some people that you can trust?
I think, I kind of look at this industry, man, especially, and I'm sure it's like in a lot of other industries, but I know specifically in this industry that a lot of the people that I do business with, as far as manufacturers and stuff, a majority of them are direct competitors.
For against XDog.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's really important to build your brand. Like building your brand, there's just so much room in the marketplace. Like they're projecting by 2027 to be, the pet industry is going to be a $350 billion industry.
Yeah, and that's small, people. Think about $350 billion, healthcare is about a $1.3 trillion.
Yeah,
and that was Paul Pizer, I believe, wrote a book almost 10 years ago now. Health care, the health industry, the next $1 trillion industry.
Yeah, and
that number is growing by the second. He said, "What if someone told you what to do business wise when it started, like when the boom was coming?" There's some people who figured out, and some people who fucking got caught slipping. So, what's the hardest part about competing with your friends, and what's the best part?
The best part is sometimes they don't do the work and you just shove it down their throat that you're beating their ass in business, right? But I always wish well for them. Like my whole goal is to make them successful. Like we talk about it all the time is you want to create an ecosystem of successful entrepreneurs around you and business people around you. What's the point of having friends who are fucking not successful and don't bring any value to your life?
Exactly. But so then how do you people sometimes get caught up with people thinking that. Some people wear a good mask, right? Yeah. So you think they actually want to be successful, but they don't. So then how do you differentiate the two?
Well, you just hold them accountable. And if, like at the end of the day, their journey is their journey. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I think we all kind of feel in some way, shape, or form some jealousy when we look at, and it's not something that we mean to do. Like, for example, like I'll look at some of my mentors. I'm like, damn, man, that motherfucker's killing it, and doing it all. But then I have to catch myself because the universe doesn't know the difference between you differentiating. Thank you. The difference, between, your train of, like your intent, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I said it all the time. It's kind of ironic because I was listening to Andy today and I had wrote a post yesterday. It was very similar about how you should help your friends grow. And why would I want to help someone become a direct competitor, And the truth is that because I know that the more that I help them, the more they're going to help me evolve, because if their game steps up, that's going to make me step my game up. You know what I mean?
Okay, so what about the people who go and help somebody and somebody tries to crucify them?
That's on them. Like, that's that bad juju, man. The universe knows that as well, I don't worry about that. Like I said, there was a thing I did a post today about direct competition. That's what promotes innovation, right? And being a disruptor to the industry forces brands to step up their quality. Unfortunately, like the pet industry, there's more problems than there are solutions right now. You know,
and it's confusion at the core. Meaning, like, what does it? Put it like this: what does a dog need? Yeah. And that's that. Focus on needs and not what your dog wants. And I think the dogs will always get better when you focus on that bottom line. Which is good and bad, right?
There's a common theme with big players in any industry, right? Yeah. Develop a problem, create a problem, and then charge people for the solution. Mm-hmm. And it's not any different in the pet industry. You know what I'm saying? Like dogs, for a reason, dogs are becoming more obese, overweight, and have more health-related issues than ever,
And so who would you say your direct competition is right now? If you had to identify one monster that you want to slay.
It's me. Yeah, that it's me directly. Like I used to focus a lot on competitors, and now I'll take a glance to kind of see what they're doing, to see what we're doing to innovate or how we can innovate a little bit more. But I don't really focus on them at all.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, and I'm only asking this because, people get lost in that competing against, the door, and the door is the door. Yeah. It's going to open and close all day long, so they get they become resilient for all the wrong reasons.
I think trainers, like people in the training business like that. And
personal trainers you're talking about?
Personal trainers and dog trainers. Yeah. And then also like, what do you call it? I had lost my train of thought, but
even newer entrepreneurs, man.
Kennels, like kennels and breeders, like, they'll sit there and fucking hate on each other all day,
I just sent a guy a nice message yesterday, and so I guess there's this thing going around where people like tag people, like, hey, here's 10 people, right? Yeah. And they tag you, so I just sent it to my story because he tagged me, and I'm in like a post with mad people, right? Yeah. And so he says, hey, you supposed to return the favor, and I go, what am I'm supposed to do? And he was like, well, we tagged you. We're trying to build a network. I said, I don't go look at you guys' page. I said, I don't even know you guys. Yeah. I said, matter of fact, if you want, you could take, I literally said, voice memo. I said, you could take me off the post if you like, man. I said, I know about 3 people. Yeah. I said, and that's it. My primary concern is customer experience and making sure I take care of my dogs. That's it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Ask me if I want to be part of the network.
That too. That too. And again, I told him, I said, bro, my God, this is no disrespect, but that whole networking and trying to get into this community where I'm trying to work through you and sell dogs, like that ain't my mission. Yeah. Personally, I'm trying to create the best dogs in the world. Sure. And that doesn't require me getting to know all you guys, let alone on your page, wondering what you're doing, how you're breeding, who you got. Like, I could care less.
That's such a small ecosystem, and it really isn't targeted in the audience that you should be targeting anyways if you're getting in that business. It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. So what's one of the top things that you do to stay competitive with yourself?
I push the envelope sometimes. Like if I'm getting too comfortable, I'll challenge myself. So like,
what does comfort feel like? Tell them to walk them through that.
Almost complacency, like being okay with just enough. Like it's a dangerous spot because it's almost you rather like if you're at the top, you're fighting to stay at the top, and if you're at the bottom, you're fighting your way to try to get to the top, right? But if you're in a comfortable zone and you have an ability to grow, you may not have that sense of urgency to want to grow, you know what I mean? Because you're comfortable.
That irony, though, of even being at the bottom and fighting, too, could be that they're actually fighting to be at the bottom because they're fighting with people who ain't fighting to get to the top. Yeah. Does that make sense? So you get in a barrel full of crabs, and you only fight with crabs. You like, how y'all gonna get out of here if everybody's a crab?
Well, that's the majority of Facebook groups out there, right?
God. No, that's facts, man. And I mean, I even found myself in that situation, even with the real estate stuff, man. Which is why I had to I had to get back in the realm of Trev, because I started feeling complacent. Nothing was getting done. And then he had to come in and basically repurpose everything that we were doing to get us back on track, man. So, I mean, settings are everything when it comes to complacency, and I 100% agree with what you're saying.
Do sometimes you feel tired being around Trev?
No, I mean, well.
No, honestly.
Well, let me put it like this. Because the way he works, it's like nothing you ever seen. It's like literally a robot just moving 24/7.
Are you sometimes uncomfortable?
All the time.
Okay, perfect. Because that's when you know you're in the right place. If you're around people where you're not fucking frustrated, you're like, God damn, give it a rest. You're around the wrong people, in my opinion. Like even my personal relationship, with my lady and stuff like that. Like I'm like her, like I've made her so uncomfortable by the way I work that now she's seamlessly, started doing things around the house, and now she's reading self-help books. Yeah. And we're synergistically, we're working well together now because. But at the same time, she's like, man, I feel so much better about myself, I don't know, man. I feel like sometimes we try to feel so comfortable, but it really isn't comfortable.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, hell, even my old lady, she got real comfortable, and look what happened. It almost got her the complete boot. Yeah. And so now she's in a state right now where she's trying to, in a sense, stay caught up or trying to play catch up. But now she's working more diligently now because of the fact that she's seeing everybody else is going like this. They're all growing. Except for her. Yeah. And so now she's out there trying to make sure she's doing 75 hard now, going through the days, just trying to make sure that she's keeping herself accountable and things like that. And I'm holding her accountable as well too. And I'm doing it with her because once again, it's when you do things like this, you have other people who are going to be walking down that road with you. It makes it a lot easier to accomplish more, which is why I even told her, like, hey, I got to go stay with Trev for a couple of days because you can only grow as much as my ability to grow being around other people like you guys, and especially being around people like Trev. So if I go and grow with him and I come back, there's something I might have learned that might help you grow a little bit more as well too.
Yeah. And just to answer your other question, to answer your question, to even take a deeper dive, like, for example, like right now, I'm trying to develop the showroom and figure out how many square footage we're going to need to open up the ability to franchise this place. We're completely doing an overhaul on the website. Now, this week we're going to shoot multiple times to create more content video, right? An instructional video to streamline our education. We just hired a firm to handle our Amazon accounts. I just brought on a partner to do our funnels on social media marketing. And then on top of that, we're working our way into Chewy and Walmart marketplace, because those are two pretty big marketplaces. Yeah. And so that's a lot of fucking work, man. Like it's a fucking from morning to night job task every single day for the rest of the year.
Knowing that you have that type of workload, how uncomfortable do you feel at this moment in time?
I don't feel uncomfortable because I know the direction I'm going, but I am feeling uncomfortable as far as just like trying to get the stuff done. There's more of a sense of urgency now, but my energy levels are through the roof because now I'm waking up at 4 o'clock. I'm trying to start my day, knock this shit out, get to the gym, get my morning reading done, starting on my gallon of water, putting the right foods in my body. And then I'm tackling the day. And then I'm trying to get to bed early, on time, so I can wake up early again and repeat it. But it's stressful, but it's a different type of uncomfortable from a transition from being uncomfortable to putting yourself in a position in the right place where you're getting uncomfortable again. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And all those little things you just mentioned, man, those little habits right there, those make all the difference in your energy. Even when I made the shift and putting cleaning, because Trevor even told me, he's like, hey, man, he's like, you got to start eating better. You got to start doing this. So I was like, okay. I was like, that's why I said, we started the 75 hard thing, because I know it's going to force me to do so. But my energy, even over the past week and a half, has been way up. Even when you said on my way in, you're like, hey, you look a little tired. I was like, yeah, I was up till 3:30. But once again, when you're on a mission,
I was just fucking with you.
I know you were. But when you're on a mission, you're trying to figure stuff out, and you're really trying to go, man. Like that energy level, man, is crucial. It is crucial.
I hate that shit when you're really tired. Somebody like, hey, you look a little tired.
Like, nah, man, no, I'm not, bro. I'm on a mission, bro. That's the case.
I recently found a good biohack for myself, for my body, which is I was starting out the morning eating like fruits and just eating pretty clean and stuff like that. But I noticed I was getting lethargic when I would eat fruits, right? And so what I've done is now as I wake up in the morning, it's all like healthy fats, high quality protein. And then before I go to bed, about an hour before I go to bed, I'll start eating fruits and stuff like that. And I fucking sleep like an angel. And so I don't know if I need to probably go get my blood checked or whatever, but I just know now like my energy levels in the morning, it's almost kind of like I do intermittent fasting and keto throughout the majority of the day. And then I'll fucking just, eat some fruits in the evening.
So draw a perspective on around accountability, because sometimes people get into this place where they're managing someone else. Yeah. Especially when that person isn't necessarily driving a result. And I know even here over the years, you've had to put your foot down and be corrective in whatever way that looks like, which potentially cause challenges in relationships and friendships or whatnot. But when you start really holding accountability, is accountability managing a person day in and day out, or is it managing the expectation? Now, I know the answer, but I think
it's a little bit of both. Like, it's this expectation that you have for the person to execute, Yeah. It took me a long time to kind of figure this out, but I'll give people a few chances if it's in an investment towards a mistake, right? But if it's like you're cancerous to our culture and you're not willing to listen and you're hard to coach and you plant these negative seeds with the rest of the team members, I'm just like, you get cut off. Like, that's just it. I don't have time for it anymore. Like, you want to have access to me, I want to grow. And if you don't want to grow, then you can't have access to me, because we're gonna conflict. It's just the bottom line. It doesn't matter if you're fucking right or I'm right. I have a direction that I know where I'm going, and if you want to be a part of that, great. And if you don't, go your own direction.
And talk to them about how you feel. Like, what does growth actually feel like? Because technically, unless it's like a numbers game, then how do you know you're growing?
Well, you have to audit it. You have to this is another thing too. Like, I was reading from one of my mentors' books, The Power of One More, right, by Ed Mylett. It's a really great book. Some of the master, like the best people at executing in business and stuff, they actually audit themselves on the hour. Like he has 3 mini days. So for example, if you have 365 days a year, he's worked it to where he has 3 mini days inside one day. So there are 6-hour segments. So for 18 hours, for the first 6 hours, he's got a day where he's executing, another 6 hours and another 6 hours. Because time you don't give back. Yeah. Time, like money, you can always make money. The things you can always get more food. You can always do all this other, but the best in the game, they understand the importance of time and the value of time.
Very much.
And so now, instead of he's getting 3 years out of 1 year, because a lot of the time it's just shit that we're just kind of like varying off and not really focusing. But if you really dial in for 6 hours of doing something, you're going to accomplish a lot, you know? And that also includes family time, you know? So it looks like the first 12 hours are dedicated towards like himself and optimizing himself, then towards certain businesses, the other next part of the day. And then the other part is with family, you know? And so there's no balance, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's better than... I
mean, but balance is a matter of perspective. People say that, you know,
I hate that shit too.
People say, hey, you need balance. You sound lazy to me. You sound like you need, like you saying you want to go like kick it and go drink and hang out. Like you need that kind of balance so you can sit on the phone and gossip. Then that's your balance. My balance is being determined.
Like I see someone like you, and I don't know about you yet because I don't know where you're going. But I know someone like you because I know myself. Like we don't talk about retirement ever. You know,
it's not even an idea. It never crossed my mind.
I don't care about it. Like it doesn't. I don't even think about it. Right? Like it's like. I just want to fucking eliminate dog obesity and create the world's greatest dog harness. That's all I want to do. Yeah. And I just want to, you know, change the whole landscape of how people are feeding their dogs and the perspective of what a healthy dog is, you know, and it's a lifetime journey.
It is, and it's never going to end, especially when you're on the road to this, you know, building something. I've even enjoyed getting back to the breeding space because I know how much time it takes to really create great dogs and how much energy goes into each fucking dog.
I don't want to fucking do it, you know? I kind of flirted with it a little bit. I was like, this ain't for me.
You got to know your lane. You got to know your lane, but I'm with you 100%, bro. If there was another way, I probably would do it. But, you know, sometimes, you know, in this case, you're the best at what you do.
Yeah.
And there's nobody who's going to do what you're doing. And, you know, let's say 10 years ago, 10 years passed, and nothing really changed. Matter of fact, things have gotten worse, unfortunately for the dog, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. And my job, how I feel about it is I've got to bring back a quality and integrity, if you would, in the space.
But you have strong evidence to back your opinion. You know what I mean? Man, it's not like you're just fucking being an asshole about it. You're like, you're looking at dog. Like, you insulted everybody at the ABKC Nationals because you're like, I'm not impressed. I'm not fucking impressed. You know, you may saw one or two dogs, but the overall lineups, you know,
I could live without them, but and mind you, people, it's a matter of perspective based on, again, where my roots come from, specific to dogs. I come from people who went hunting, dogs that could do stuff. Your dog can't swim, can't run, can't hop, can't skip. It's not a dog. Point blank. It's just not. You're like, what are you doing with that thing? And I'm an active person, so why would I? And even when, you know, I think I told you we went down to Clyde Warren, and you see the people who are out getting it.
Yeah,
you're like, who wants to take a dog somewhere that can't do nothing, you know? I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like having a human around that you have to push in a stroller for the rest of your life. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. No, I get it, man. I have a dog that's like, you know, I have to be very wary of where I take him, you know? And I have a dog that'll go anywhere with me, you know?
And keep in mind, those two things ensued a different feeling.
Yeah.
There's a different emotion even that comes over you when you don't have the anxiety of like, yo, I gotta go start the car right now.
Yeah,
because this motherfucker gonna fall out if we don't get somewhere cool. Versus the dog, like, yo, this motherfucker go with me for 3 miles, we're straight. Because I'm gonna do 3 miles.
Yeah,
at 3 o'clock, he's fine. Where he's gonna be straight. So I get it complete. Well, that being said, competition is one of the things that always interests me. So I'm always looking for places to push myself.
Yeah,
and even more importantly, at this moment in time, my dogs as well, and the science. I'm doing all the studying, the research, and trying to bring this science together and put theory to the test.
Yeah,
that's the best thing. Like, if I lose, I lose, but I gotta know.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's like, you know, like a lot of the competitors I'll be doing business with, like I plan on having other people's products in these retail stores. It's not going to be all XDog products, you know, like. I think there's a great opportunity because at the end of the day, I'm going to build relationships with, you know, different distribution companies. Like that's another thing. The reason why I want to do this is because there's a bunch of different distribution companies that distribute to mom and pop feeds, right? Mm-hmm. And so if I can build a relationship and have the relationship with those distribution companies, because now I can become a client of theirs carrying the products. Guess what? We're going to be able to push our products other places, you know? And my goal is to open up these locations in every major city all across the country. You know?
And that right there, people, is how you think about doing business. A lot of times, most important part of any business and in competition is actually building the relationship.
Sometimes you got to start out as the customer.
Oh, you always start out the customer. I go in and order and buy stuff and look at the labels, take pictures, everything, and analyze it, and buy individual products, write down everything Google or other studies have said about specific products. Man, I go down the ringer,
Well,
bro.
it's just like with those funnels on social media. I became clients of multiple people who are like, there's information I want to know and products I want to purchase, but I want to see how they sequence.
Yeah.
You know, because they've already done the study and research. They've already invested the millions of dollars in testing. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they know it works.
So, you know, let's drop a little gem here, because I know one of the goals one day is to have the XDog Games per se, and I'd imagine there's going to be a very specific dog, and not a specific breed, but a dog that's going to be able to do some things that other dogs might not be able to do.
Yeah.
So why do you want to do that? And for me, and I'm asking because we're talking about competition.
Yeah.
And I feel like dogs don't have a place anywhere to go and be a dog anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to foo-foo them, dumb them down, make them lazy, and definitely, in some regard, just feed them 3 times a day and let them get fat.
Yeah.
I like a shredded dog. I like a beefy, bulked up, solid looking dog that can run, hop, jump, and skip.
Sure.
Because I'm gonna do the same.
Yeah.
So how important is it for you to get to that goal, and what are some things you hope people begin to do and think about as they get more dogs or bring dogs into their programs or lives?
Well, I think with the XDog game, I always think about, I want a pro division, I want a novice division. The novice division is going to be for the everyday dog owner.
Yeah.
Like I want to create competitions for the everyday dog owner. The reason why I want to do the XDog games is I just want people to be inspired to be more active with their dogs. That's it. You know, like that's all I want to happen. It's just to provide a different, there's already enough protection sports. There's agility sports. There's different things, but I want to do that just to inspire people to, you know, spend more time with their dogs. At the same time, it also helps the brand, you know, it just helps the brand, you know? And so, you know, that's the main thing. One more dog that's doing this type of work, and let's just say they're just an everyday dog owner, you know, like it's going to be interesting. It might be just a mile walk with your dog where you're wearing a vest and your dog's wearing a vest, you know. It's simple as that, you know, condition yourself to do something like that. Because, I mean, I look at XDog as we're just a culture of overachieving dog owners. That's all I want. I want us to be that brand where we're just a bunch of overachieving dog owners. We care about what we put on our dog's body, and we care about, you know, how we influence their bodies physically, you know, through exercise and mental health. I think mental health is such an underrated problem, you know. Dogs are dealing with depression. Dogs are having behavior issues out the ass, you know, excessive barking, digging, destroying, pissing in the house, killing, blowing up their cages, you know. And it's a fast track to lower the quality of their life and to shorten their lifespan. Stress, I mean, imagine being stressed out all the fucking time.
Hey, yeah. Some people live there. Some people live there,
real.
man. Anxiety for the minute they wake up, for to go to sleep. They got tension around their heart. Now they got hypertension and all kinds of other disorders that are going to become of them because they've never stabilized themselves mentally.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
So, you know, we talk about competition, right? And did you ever compete in sports?
Of course, yeah.
All right, so did you ever notice when you just competed against people better than you and you got better? But when you ran the room, you're like you didn't grow, right?
All the time, man.
I mean,
I didn't have that. I put it like this. I was always put in position to thrive, and I don't know how to lose.
yeah.
I'm not a good loser. As what you call.
I'm a sore loser too.
All day,
I'm
man.
I'm not a good loser, man. There's days where you feel like, and days you don't feel like it, so you don't run your best race.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, you run it against yourself.
Well, I know, like in just combat sports in general, like, you know, you don't learn from you can learn from a white belt, but you don't go to a school to learn from a white belt. You know, you go to a school to learn from somebody who's a master, you know, and it's just, you know, it's just one of those things. I feel like, you know, the more competitive you are, the more competition you are around, the better you're more you're going to grow, you know?
Yeah.
Or it's going to run you off.
Yeah. Kobe was a master at that. So was Jordan.
Yeah, you got to like, hey, I like the fact that some people are like, hey, I can't be around that dude. That's good.
Yeah.
'Cause I couldn't be around you either.
I think there's one of the big mistakes is that people want to be leaders and they also want to be liked by everybody. And it's just like, not everybody's going to fucking like you, bro. Like, that just is what it is.
That doesn't change a damn thing, which is why your vision has to be bigger than a person or an individual.
Yeah.
If it's bigger than the people, then the people get that. And the people get that, you're going to be able to achieve anything. If you make your vision about the few people inside of the walls that you've basically put intact. Like if there were 5 people here at XDog and you were more concerned about them versus solving this dog problem, no dog would ever get saved.
Yeah, and that's happened before.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? That's why I'm always telling people, I said, look, you'll get removed because the only thing that matters is these dogs.
Yeah.
If I got to do it myself, the only thing that matters is these fucking dogs. And that's that.
Yeah, that's the only thing that matters.
Look, people, we talked a little bit about competition. It's something that we're going to continue to do here. What I do love about being here with XDog and Stan and what we're both trying to achieve and how it aligns is none of us really know what's going to become of anything. Yeah. But we're doing the work and we're trying to figure it out, and it's slowly but surely making more and more sense. Yep. I need to breed and bring back some of the best dogs in the world. Yeah. That can do things. Yeah. And that's just not the case. Yeah. Well, it takes somebody who, like, for example, like, you're not in it for the money. No, you couldn't pay me if even this next litter, we might sell 2, and I put the rest in home so I can watch them grow up and run my little test. Yeah. And the next one and the next, because it's like the dogs ain't gonna make me. Yeah. And they're not gonna break me, but I need to make them great. Yeah. So that's a whole process in itself, and it just doesn't happen overnight. And it's not, dude, it's one of the hardest things you could possibly do. People, like, they see the bag, because a lot of breeders like to post the bag, but they don't post the bag of shit. They don't post the fucking bags of having to walk them and take care of them, and the fucking bags of feed and everything else, man. It's all the expenses, all the losses, the trials and tribulations. Like, it's an expensive hobby, man. Yeah, and that's the thing, is it's not something that you play with. I don't think you should ever play with somebody's life, an animal or a human being. So for me, it is one of those things where you got calculated risk, calculated costs, you got calculated losses, and what's the beauty about all the calculations is it's uncalculated until the shit happens. So it's just like when you hire an employee. Yeah. When I learned when one business I worked at, he would go back. They brought in a guy, and he would go back and retrain the person. Yeah. He said, we're spending $500, if not more, every time we bring somebody in. So every week somebody quits, that's roughly, it's costing me $1,500. Let's just say 15. He said, but then I go and test them, and the person that trained him didn't teach him shit. Yeah. He said, so let me go repurpose it. He said, now, not only are they just in the restaurant industry alone, not only are they doing $300 in tips a night, but they know how to communicate what it is we do here and why this place is special. Yeah. And people keep coming through our doors. And again, sometimes it's just simple as mismanagement. As far as communication goes. So, at any hoop, man, anything else you want to hit them with? No, man. First of all, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, man. That would help us out a lot. Again, we're doing this for free. We ain't asking nothing out of this. So, if you could support us, we greatly appreciate it. And just, stay invested into your dogs. That's all we ask, care about it. Be an overachieving dog owner. And that's all we're asking out of this podcast. So, as always, man, thank you again for listening in, and Team XDog Strong.